I'm 5 meters underwater. My body starts to tell me that it's pretty sure I'm drowning. My belly pulses. My heart races, or at least it wants to. And my lungs burn. Around me, there are 11 others moving in silence. And I have to trust that my 5 teammates will see me, that they will throw me the ball. Because I have one thought. I have their goal. Bring me the ball before I have to go up for air. Today, I'd like to invite you into a world that most people have never heard about. Most leaders have never thought about. Underwater rugby. And you might question why that is relevant and what this sport that nobody knows even exists could teach us anything at all. Shall we dive in? When you go to an underwater rugby game and you watch from the surface, it's chaos. You'll see people looking down. You'll see splashing. You'll see people fighting at the surface, maybe pushing each other down. And you probably won't understand anything. You'll see that there are people wearing masks and fins and these funny hats. And you'll see the ball, at least in the beginning, before it goes down. It's chaotic. Underneath the surface, it's a different story. It's quiet. It's strategic. It's fast. It's wild. We play in the deep end of the pool. As I said, there are 6 people in the water. 2 goalies, 2 defenders, 2 attackers. When one goes up for air, another goes down. There are 6 more outside of the bench, waiting to jump in when someone comes out. So a team is 12 people. One plays in light, another plays in dark. The ball weighs 3.5 kilos. It's filled with salt water, so it sinks. The goals are 2 baskets at the bottom, 3.5 to 5 meters deep. That's where the ball needs to go. When I started playing 25 years ago, I was a young woman in a scuba diving club that had a rugby team. They were always around. I grew up in that club. And they were always loud, rambunctious, all confidence, all men. And I never pictured myself in that world. Until at some point, someone challenged me and invited me in. And the pull of that game was stronger than my misgivings. At first, they put me in a position specially created for Julia. It was called the witch. I would be somewhere in midfield, relaying the ball forward to whoever was going to attack. That made sense for 2 reasons. I wouldn't have to fight, and I wouldn't have to score. Added bonus, most opponents didn't attack me, afraid to break the little girl, the one woman. Someone told me, "You'd make a great organizer, but you'll never be a good player." I mean, let's face it. I'm tiny by comparison. I was. But luckily, not everyone believed that, and soon enough, neither did I. And together with a couple of others, we started growing the women's side of the sport. And leadership snuck up on me. Captain of a national team, because it needed a captain. Referee, because nobody likes doing it. International referee, that was awesome. And finally, coach of the aspiring Italian national team. And at first I thought leadership meant being liked by everyone. Or controlling everything. And you'll believe me, it was exhausting. Over time, I learned something else, something deeper and quieter. In underwater rugby, like in many sports, if you commit a foul, your opponent gets something that's called a free throw. The referee will stand like this at the line where you're allowed to do the free throw. You'll have a radius of liberty around you where nobody can attack you, and you'll execute a pass forward, hoping to take the ball forward. When I first started working with the women's team I now coach, their free throws were chaotic. Nobody knew what to do, but everybody wanted to do something. So what usually happened was that in that moment that was supposed to give them an advantage, they lost the ball within the first or second play. I looked at this and said, okay, we got to change this, obviously. So we installed a simple pattern. Defenders execute. One goalie forward, one back. Attackers by the side. And all of a sudden, there were options. And not only were there options, there was calm because everyone knew where to go. And a moment that had been hectic and chaotic became a moment of calm, of resting your brain and becoming creative going forward. Sometimes leadership means installing calm moments. To understand my next story, you need to understand how we score a goal. So you've seen the basket. Usually there's a defender sitting in front of it, trying to create distance by putting their fins in your face. Once you get past that person, there's a goalie lying on top, and you have to lift them up, put the ball in. Right? Yes, exactly like that. Or, if you're really smart, you steal the goalie position and you create a hole. On our youth team, 8 to 14-year-olds, there's a tiny boy, Benny. Maybe like this, half the size of the others, half the weight of the others, the one who's always cold. He's tiny, but he's brilliant. He spots the goalie's exchange, and somehow, elegantly, he just slides in and takes their place. And at first, we laughed. And the second time it happened, we cheered. And the third, it became our strategy. Benny steals the goal. Bang! Bap, bap! Goal. Awesome. So I coach youth, and I've been playing for a long time. So over time, of course, I've come to play with the people I used to teach. The children have grown up, and they're faster, they're stronger, they're more fearless than I am now. So I'm learning that leadership can also mean knowing when to take a breath and to trust others to take over and take the game forward. And I think that is a future skill for me. Knowing that no one can stay underwater forever. I think that many leaders feel like they're underwater all the time. Constant pressure, 5 meters deep. Never any time to breathe or take a rest. What would happen if you allowed this calm for your team to move freely? If you brought clarity so everyone can lead when their moment comes? And if you trusted others to dive when you come up for air? Because when you have 20 seconds of air, maybe 30, every second counts. And when there's 6 people moving in the water, you don't need to see everyone, control everything to know you're part of something bigger. Just like underwater rugby, leadership is a team sport. And everyone needs to take their turn. Thank you.